4. Strengthening the use of incident command system. Section 401, definitions. In general, Section 501 of the Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code 311 is amended. 1. In residing paragraphs 10 and 11, the paragraphs 12 and 13, respectively. 121 Stat 302 of the Public Law 11053 of August 3, 2007. 2. The redesignation paragraphs of 4 and 9 of the paragraphs 5 and 10, respectively. 3. Inserting the paragraphs 3 of the following. And 4. In the terms of credential and credentialing, meaning that having provided respectively documentation identifies a personal authentication, verifies the qualification of such personnel to ensure the personnel of the possesses a minimum common level of training, experience, physical, and medical fitness capability appropriate for the particular position in accordance with standards created under Section 510. Inserting there after paragraph 10 and so redesignated following 11 term resources means personnel, major items of equipment, supplies, and facilities available for responding to natural disasters, acts of terrorism, other man-made disasters. 5. The paragraph 12 in paragraph 5 in paragraph 12 as in so redesignated, striking at the end. 6. United States paragraph 13, the redesignated, striking in paragraph end and inserting an end at 7 and the end of the following. And if 14 of the type of the following, meaning having evaluating respectively resources accordingly standing and created under Section 510. Technical conforming amendments, Section 641, Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006, 6 United States Code 741, is amended, resignated in paragraphs 2 and 10 and paragraphs 3 and 11, respectively. Two, by inserting paragraph 1 following. 2, the credentials and credentialing. The terms in credential and credentialing have been means of giving those terms of Section 501 Homeland Security of 2002, 6 United States Code 311, and 3 adding to the following. 12, the resources. The resources have the meaning of the term 501 Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code 311, and the type of the term's meaning of classification resources refers to capability of resources. 14, typed and typing. The terms typed and typing have in the means of giving those terms of 501 Homeland Security Act of 2002 and 6 United States Code 311, Section 402, National Exercise Program Design, 648 B2A, and Post-Katrina Emergency Management Program Reform Act of 2006, 6 United States Code 748 B2A is amended by the striking clauses of 4 and 5, inserting the following. 4, designated providing systematic elevation of readiness and enhancing operational understanding of incident command systems relevant to mutual aid agreements. 5, designated readdressing into the unique requirements of population special needs, including elderly. And 6, designated promptly develops and after action and reports plans and quickly incorporating lessons learned to future operations. Section 403, National Exercise Program Model Exercise 648 B2B, Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006, 6 United States Code 748 B2B is amended and striking shall be approved as the following. As the exercises inserting the following shall include the selection of the model exercise. State, local, and tribal governments can be readily adapted for the use of provided assistance in state, local, and tribal governments, and when within those designated elevations and exercises, whether the model exercise program exercise is designated locally. Section 4, pre-identifying evaluation, multi-jurisdictional facility of strengthening incident and command and private sector preparedness. Section 507 C2 and Homeland Security Act of 202, 6 United States Code 317 C2 is amended in subparagraph H of the striking at the end to redesignating as subparagraph I and subparagraph K, inserting and after the subparagraph H, and so in 3, inserting subparagraph H of the following. 1, in coordination with the private sector to help ensure private sector preparedness and national direct disasters, acts of terrorism, or other man-made disasters. J, assisting state, local, and tribal governments appropriate pre-identifying, evaluating suitability and multi-jurisdictional innocence commanded system which quickly established, operated, and if needed, such systems arise. And Section 405, Federal Response Capability and Inventory. 651, the Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006. 6 United States Code 751 is amended in subsection B is an header from preceding paragraph 1 and striking the inventory, inserting the federal agency of responsibility under the National Response Plan inventory. B, the paragraph of the striking at the end, and C, the redesignation paragraph 2 and 4, and D is inserting paragraph 1 of the following. 2 is the listing of personal credential in accordance with Section 510 of the Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 U.S. Standard Code 320. 3, a list of resources typed in accordance with the Section 510 Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code 320. And in subparagraph D, in paragraph striking capabilities, readiness, all the files inserting the following: A, capabilities; B, readiness; C, compatible of equipment; D, the credential personnel; E, type resources; B, in paragraph B, inserting capabilities, credential personnel, type resource, and rapid deployment; and C, in paragraph striking inventories, inserting inventory described in subsection A. Subsection 406, reporting requirements. Section 652. Section 406, reporting requirements. Section 652A2, the Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006. 6 United States Code 752A is amended in Section 103, further amended 1 subparagraph C, and then striking Section 651A and inserting Section 651, including the number and type credential personnel in each category: personal trained and ready to be respond to national disasters, active terrorism, and other man-made disasters. In subparagraph D, the striking at the end. In subparagraph E, the striking of the period and the end, inserting and the ending following. And F, decision whether the listed credential personnel agency described in Section 651B and complies with strategic human capital plan development under the Section 110, 102 of Title 5 of the United States Code. And if sufficient, responded to natural disasters, active terrorism, and other man-made disasters, including catastrophic incidents. Section 407, Federal Preparedness. Section 653, Post-Katrina Emergency Management Reform Act of 2006, 6 United States Code 753 is amended in subsection A in matter of preceding paragraph 1 and striking coordination, primarily in subparagraphing in paragraph 2 and inserting including credential personnel typing resources likely needed to respond to national disasters of active terrorism. Other man-made disasters in accordance with Section 510 Homeland Security Act of 2002, United States Code 320 as a semicolon at the end of the paragraph 3 and then striking at the end of D, the paragraph 4, and striking at the end of the period and inserting semicolon and in the column or apostrophe semicolon and apostrophe semicolon and E, and ending the following. 5, regular updates verify the accuracy of provides the administration information inventory required under the subsection under Section 651 and subsection B. The inserting Committee of the Homeland Security, Government Affairs, the Senate Committee of the Homeland Security, the Committee of the Home on Transportation, Infrastructure, and Housing, and representatives and President shall certify by striking coordination on primary supporting. Section 408, credential typing. Section 510, Homeland Security of 202, 6 United States Code 320, and is amended. B, the striking of administration, inserting the following. A, in general administration, subsection A is designated striking credential personnel typing, inserting for credential typing incident management personnel, emergency response providers, and personnel including emergency response providers, including temporary personnel, and by adding ending the following. D or B, distribution. 1, in general, no later than 1 year after the date of enactment and implementing recommendations from 9/11 Commission Act of 2007, and the administrator shall provide the standards developed under subsection A, including details, written guidance, and 2A for the federal agencies that has responsibility under national response plans as to the aid of the agencies, credential and type, incident management personnel, emergency response providers, other personnel, including temporary personnel resource likely needed to respond to natural disasters, active terrorism, other man-made disasters. B, in state, local, tribal governments aid such for governments credential typing in state, local, and tribal and incident management personnel, emergency response personnel, including temporary personnel resources likely to need to respond to natural disasters, active terrorism, and other man-made disasters. Through to the assistance of administration shall provide experienced technical assistance, federal, state, local, tribal government agencies, credential typing, incidental management personnel, emergency response providers, or personnel that, including temporary personnel and resources like needed to respond to natural disasters, active terrorism, and other man-made disasters. C, credentials to other type personnel no later than 6 months after receiving standards provided by under Section B of the federal agency responsibility under National Response Plan shall ensure the incident management personnel, emergency response providers, or other personnel, including temporary personnel resource likely to need respond to natural disasters, active terrorism, other man-made disaster credential typing typed according to the section. And BD, the Constellation of Healthcare Standards and Development Standards of Credential Healthcare Professionals under Section Administration shall consult Secretary of Health and Human Sources, Health and Human Services. Sec 409, Model Standards and Guidelines on Critical Infrastructure Workers, and General Title 5 of the Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code 311 and 10 sequences amended the ending of the following. 121.306 Public Law 110.53 August 3, 2007, 6 United States Code 321K, Sec 522 Model Standards Guidelines of Critical Infrastructure Workers, deadline A, in general, no later than 12 months after the date of enactment, implementation of recommendations of the 9/11 Commission Act of 2007, coordination, appropriation, national and professional organization, federal, state, local, and tribal governments, agencies, private sector, non-government entities, administration shall establish model standards, guidelines, and credential critical infrastructure workers that may be used for state of credential critical infrastructure workers that may respond to national disasters, terrorism, other than man-made disasters. D, and distribution assistance. The administrator shall be provided assistance standards developed in under Section A, and including the detailed written guidance, state, local, tribal governments, and provide expertise and technical assistance to aid in governments and credential critical infrastructure worker that may be responding to natural disasters, active terrorism, and other man-made disasters. C, then the conforming amendment to the table of contents to Section 1B Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code 10B, and is amended inserting in the item relating to Section 521 of the following. Section 522 Model Standards Guidelines of Critical Infrastructure Workers. Section 410 Authorization Appropriations. The authorized appropriation such terms is necessary to carry out the title amendment made by this Title 5, improving intelligence information sharing within the federal government and in state and local and tribal governments. Subtitle A, Home Title and Information Sharing Enhancement.